Hey everybody, welcome back. So it is a cold and wet, rainy Christmas Eve morning. Is that like a thing? Christmas Eve morning? That just doesn't quite sound right. Anyway, it's morning of the day before Christmas in Arizona and everywhere else, for that matter, for the most part, who celebrate Christmas. And Merry Christmas if you do, and if you don't, Merry Day. And as you can see, we're not going to be doing much out there today. Things have slowed down for me a bit. All the Christmas shopping is done. My typical 2 week before Christmas flurry of business is over, and I'm not going to complain about it because it gets the bills paid and pays for Christmas. So I've got some work to do. I can do in the garage. My wife is merrily chatting away with her family and kids, and I'm going to now get left alone for a couple days, which means I can do some stuff for myself. So let's go out in the garage. I've got the air boxes out, and I've got some new parts in for it. Okay, so a couple of you have asked me about an update on this project, and this is where I stand right now. Things have been slow for a few days. I got the speedometer completely put back together, cleaned all up on the inside, lubricated. I've tested the gauges. Everything works. I'm really pleased with that. My new little light diffusers are in it, and everything's good. Really happy with that. These gauges down here, the old voltmeter and the old oil pressure gauge, they just don't work very well. I like them because they're part of the original gauge set from it, so I'm not going to get rid of them. But I'm not looking forward to trying to take that 360-degree crimp out of them and fix them. So for now, they're just going to sit to one side. I've ordered some replacements, but of course they're the typical, Crown Automotive, Omics, Ada crap. They're probably all plastic. If they work and they look okay, they'll go in. If not, I'll come back and revisit these. I've got both air boxes out, the lower and the upper air box. Now there's another YouTuber, his name is You Can Do It, and that's the letter U, then Can Do It. And he did a really great video on pulling these things all apart and rebuilding them, because all the levers and flaps and doors hasn't worked right in this for a while. The heater core is leaking again. Well, I shouldn't really complain about that because I've had this vehicle 30 years, probably 33 years, and I've only had to replace it once before, so I guess that's okay. And in You Can Do It's video, not only did he go through disassembly and reassembly and how to get all the flaps and doors to work, and I'll put a link to his video below or above. I'll also put in a link to the previous CJ-7 videos of mine in case you guys want to go back when I started, because I've owned this vehicle a long time. But You Can Do It, not only did he show how to take these things apart and put them back together, he also made templates for all of these little rubber bumpers and foam pads in case a person wanted to go out and buy new foam. And I think I'm going to print them in TPU. We'll see how that works. If not, things like this, I may just go buy some foam. But also, if I can do that with TPU, I'm going to give that a shot, see how that works, because this kind of is a 3D printing channel. Now, I don't have it yet, but I've got a new heater core coming. I've got a new blower motor coming, because there's no point in having this out when it's easy to do without replacing those things. So those are going to get put in over here. Let me get the speedometer out of the way before I knock it off and break it, because that would really chap my cookies if I did that. And we'll get these out because I may wind up having to use them, and I don't want to bust them. All right, so I've also got the dash the way I want it. That's how it's going back in. I'm really happy about my little badges here. Again, that will be in one of the videos that I'll link to in the cards. But let's just kind of lay that down for now. Oh, here's something I 3D printed I forgot to mention. This is on Thingiverse, and this is a cable luber. Now, if you're anything like me and you've been riding motorcycles for a while, you probably have a cable luber. It's one of those little clamp things with thumb screws on it, and you tighten it down and you stuff your straw into it, and it lubes the cable. I can't find mine. I know it's around here someplace. It's a $10 part. I ain't gonna hunt for it. I found this one on Thingiverse. It requires a little bit of printing in regular plastic like ABS or PLA. And it requires a little TPU. I've got the TPU part inside. There's a little TPU part here, and I jammed it all together, and now it won't come apart, which is fine because the part that I jammed together doesn't need to come apart. But anyway, I'm going to use it to lube these cables. These cables that don't come up to the dash like that one, I'm going to use it to lube that one, and there's at least one more cable over here that doesn't come off. Maybe they're both on there, I can't remember. Anyway, there's two cables that don't come up to the dash. I've got new ones for the ones that come up to the dash, and again, they're the typical Crown Automotive Omix Ada stuff. Last time I replaced those, I had not fixed the doors. I thought it was a cable problem, so you put the new cables on, you shove on the rod and you bend the cable, and now the new cable's no good. So before I put those in, I want to get the old cables lubed, everything disassembled, cleaned up, new gaskets, lubed, moving like it's supposed to, because this thing, a little bit of wizardry in how this thing works. And I've never quite understood it. But anyway, there's that. Now, I've also got these. These are speaker spacers. I went out and bought me some high-end speakers. I think I paid a whole 25 bucks for these. And you're probably asking yourself why, since I have no intention of having a stereo in the vehicle, why I'm putting speakers in it. And I'll touch on that for a second. But let me get one of these out of the bag. Excuse me, I'm holding the camera. I didn't bring a tripod out to the garage with me. I probably should have. But I ordered these, and I thought they were just regular 5 1/4 inch speakers, but these have a tweeter on them, and the tweeter sticks up past the level of the speaker. And as you can see, let's go down to this one. It's easier to get on. See those 4 studs? That's where the speaker mounts. And as you can see, if I mount it like that, I'm just going to be bolting it down against that tweeter. So I didn't figure that was the best idea. So I looked for a speaker ring, but the speaker rings are made for speakers that go into an opening like that, not for ones that mount flush against something like that without a hole. So I made these up, and you can see these give me a little bit of, not only does it fit down into these folded sheet metal tabs, but goes on like that. Let me show you that. Goes on like that, fits down in, and spaces me up above the tweeter, so that I'll set that on there like that, and then set the speaker on, and as you can see, that gives me more than enough stud left to tighten those down. I'm pretty sure there's room behind the dash for those. Now, to touch on why I'm putting speakers in it if I'm not going to have a stereo in it, as you can see, I plugged the stereo hole. I tack welded that about every inch and then filled the crack with JB weld. As to why I'm putting speakers in it, I'm going to get one of those little, about 2-inch square or smaller, Bluetooth amplifiers, and I'm going to wire that in it right behind the dash, and I'm going to connect that directly to the speakers, and then when I get in, my phone will connect to that and it'll play through the speakers. I thought of a number of different ways to get sound in this without putting a stereo in it, and I think that's probably the way I'm going to go about it, because that will keep it all hidden. Then I won't have anything out in the open that'll look like people will want to steal, because I've already had a couple stereos stolen out of this in the bad old days. Now, another thing I got, well, I got a can of cable lube too, because my old one won't spray anymore. Another thing that has arrived, and I've got a bunch of stuff that hasn't arrived yet, but another thing that did arrive that I bought is this this replacement for the underdash AC unit. This has a hot rod AC unit in it, and it uses one of these underdash things. Let me see if I can get it out of there. I'm going to set the phone down set the camera down momentarily. It's not my phone, while I get that out of there. Okay, so there it is. Now this is the same basic unit that was in it before, and these things are stupid cheap. I think I paid about 65, 70 bucks for this one, and this doesn't have the faceplate on it. Here's the one off the old one. This is the faceplate off of the old one that doesn't really fit on it because the shifters hit it. And as you can see how much further that sticks out the front than this. It sticks out the front. I'd guess it sticks out the front of 3 inches further than this does. And I've already bent the shifters once in that car, heated them up and bent them to clear it. But then when I swapped out the crap stock 4-speed for the Mustang 5-speed, that moved the shifters just enough so that they were whacking into it again. So I just took it off and I just put some screen over the front of it. But then I saw they make these, and these, I guess it's designed to go behind the dash and have vents put in it. And there's no place, of course, to mount the controls, but I can 3D print a little thing off the side to put the controls on. And then I can also just 3D print myself some spinnable vents on there, and hopefully that extra 2 to 3 inches is all I need to get the shifter to clear when you shift into, can't remember what gear it was you shifted into, that it would go up and hit that. Anyway, that's what I'm hoping there. If that doesn't work, and I wish I had bought the one with the faceplate, which was only another $8–10, I've got a nice one down there I can clean up and put in. But I'm thinking I'm going to like that with the 3D printed vents. I think that'll have a neat look to it. And yeah, so that's pretty much where I'm at right now. I'm going to get the next few days to myself. I am hoping that before the first of the year, the rest of the parts for this will arrive, and I can get the air boxes taken apart, cleaned up, got working right, and put back together and get those back in the vehicle. That way I can get the dash in, and hopefully the next time you see this project, at the very least, the air boxes will be back in. And yes, for any of you who are asking, I did plug the hole in the cowling so that the rain isn't pouring down into the inside of the vehicle. Not that it would really matter since the drain plugs are out of it. So, but I did plug that up because I didn't want that running down in there. Because normally the rain runs into this upper air box. See if I can flip that over with my foot. It runs into there. And then there's this drain hole here that drains it off, and then there's a hose that comes out under the hood and against the firewall, and it drains it onto the ground. So that's where I'm at with the old Jeep project. I'm really looking forward to getting this part of it done and getting all of this back in it. And as far as where I go after that, honestly, I'm going to put a center console in it. I'm thinking maybe the Smitty built center console. If I have to go much more expensive than $100, I'll probably build my own center console. But after that, I don't know. Paint, wheels and tires, I don't know. I'll probably fix the doors up because the windows aren't rolling up and down really nice. But other than that, I don't really know. Anyway, hope you guys are having a great holiday. And for those of you who don't celebrate a holiday this time of year, I hope you're just having a great day. Anyway, talk to you guys later. And please like and subscribe. And I'll talk to you hopefully in a week or so. Bye for now.